Okay. So yeah, very, very warm welcome to the London Buddhist Centre. So my name's Maitreya Raja, and I'm here with Richard, who's looking after the tech. We've also got David upstairs in the office on level 1, just checking the sounds okay. So yeah, really, really warm welcome to you, particularly if you're tuning in for this Qigong session for the first time. I know that we've got some regular people coming, so hello to Adriana and to Paul. Yeah, do say hello in the chat box if you're just arriving. So yeah, we're in the basement shrine room, in the breathing space shrine room. This building used to be an old fire station, and actually used to be my office about 15 years ago. So it's nice to be teaching or doing Qigong down here with you all. So I've been doing Qigong for a number of years now. I've got my own practice going. I have also been to classes with Master Lan, and so we're doing this Jam Zhong version of Qigong. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take you through like a series of exercises and then a routine of poses. And yeah, you're just very welcome to join in with that as much or as little as you'd like to. Okay, so if you'd like to start off by having your hands just above your knees, and we'll rotate the knees around one way. So keep it just breathing normally, allowing the breath to come and go as it wants to, as you come into activity. So roughly doing about 30 one way. And then 30 the other. And yeah, I know quite a few of you might be joining us from the Breaking Free course, which I think just started yesterday, our online course. So yeah, meditation's really important for self-transformation, but also body work is as well. And definitely Qigong is one of the body works practices, which I think goes together very, very well with meditation. Yoga is another one, of course. There are many things that you can combine with meditation, but Qigong works well. So see how you get on. Okay, so now hip width apart, feet hip width apart, and hands at your waist. And then we're just going to rotate round one way, big circles with the hips. See if you can have you keep your head reasonably stationary, so you're looking at a fixed point in front of you, and just allowing the pelvis to move around in large circles. Once again, roughly 30 times around one way.
We have about 30 people.
Oh, well, okay.
Including Linda from sunny Chesterfield.
Hi, Linda.
Adriana Paul Fraser from Scotland, damp Scotland.
Hello, Adriana.
And Claudia from Oxford, and Paul from Sydney.
Okay. Welcome to you all. Yeah, it's really nice to, like 30 of us all in our individual locations, doing a bit of Qigong together. So now the other way, we can just imaginatively have a sense of that. So we might be in our own rooms just doing this by ourselves, but really having a sense of doing a collective practice online with other people throughout the country.
recognise you from one of the courses. Yeah. From Ireland. Yeah. And now you're here. Yeah.
So we've got a Kieran's also just joined us. He's joining in with the session as well. Just visiting from Ireland? Yeah. Okay, good. Okay, so what we're going to do now is a bit of arm swinging. So this involves just allowing your arms to raise up and then to fall back. And it's just the momentum of the fall will allow them to rise again. So just check your feet are hip width apart. Your knees are gently unlocked. And just allowing the arms to swing. And allowing the breath to come and go as it wants to. And nothing special, just swinging our arms. I'll just show you from sideways. Quite often the mind, as it were, is telling the body what to do. But sometimes you can encourage the body to sort of communicate with the mind in a slightly different way, in a more sort of sense-based way. So we probably all do quite a bit of looking at screen and working on keyboards. So this is quite a nice one for just loosening off the shoulders, shaking off any tension that you're holding in your body. So I'm standing in front of this really beautiful triptych painting, which was painted by Arloka, who's a Buddhist artist who lives in Norfolk. The image of the Buddha just to my left, your right. Okay, the trick with this is to keep going longer than you feel comfortable to, just a bit longer, or you feel sort of enough.
This is my favourite. I could do this forever.
Yeah.
Most people get bored after the hamstring and just leave that. You've been doing some of it online. Yeah. I remember talking to you. Yeah, I have been in the background. Can you hear me? You can't really hear me, can you? It's very quiet. Yeah. I can hear your voice. Yeah.
Okay, so your arms can just not quite, a bit lower down, so not hiding your chest, and they can just loosen off a little bit. They seem a little bit stiff. Okay, so we're going to move into some warm-up exercises now. So the first one is we're just going to take the arms above the head and then just push out. And then the next one, you come up, bring the arms up, and push out, and then round. And with these moves, you might just want to just watch me do a couple and then just join in when you're ready. Okay. So the next one, we're sort of like pushing up and pushing down times. So just having a look at this one. So it's so breathing in when you bring your hands together and breathing out when you push out. So there's a series of 8 exercises known as the brocade. And yeah, they're just a good way of warming up the body and clearing the energy channels in the body. So this one's a little bit involves a twist. So yeah, do watch first if you've never done it before. So lifting the hands up. And the other way. Okay, so next one, allowing the weight to sink into the left foot and then raising the left arm and then arching down to the right. And then the other way. Okay, so this one we're going to place our thumbs inside our fingers, pull them into our waist, and then we're just going to punch out. So this one I do sideways. So the palms of your hands in the sort of smalls of your back, in the kidney area. And then we're just going to just rub into that area in the back and just bounce a little bit. So breathing in. Okay, so the last one of the warm-up exercises. So this is my favorite actually. So just you bringing the arms up and then just going down onto your haunches. And then coming up again. Just allowing the breath to come and go as it wants to. Okay, so now just placing your right hand over your belly button and then the left hand on top of that. So just checking your feet are hip width apart, your knees are gently unlocked. And this is a as it were, that you can return to at any time. So it's the simplest, most relaxed position that you can find. So I'm going to be leading you through a sequence of 5 poses now. We'll begin holding them for a little while. So if you find that it's too intense, it's causing you too much stress, or if you're shaking a little bit, then just come back to this position. Yeah, just come back to this position, and then you can resume the pose if you want to a little bit later on, or you can just join in with the next one as we move through the sequence. Okay, so now we're going to go into Wu Chi. So this is the classic Qi Kung position, also known colloquially as cowboy. So yeah, your knees gently unlocked, your feet hip width apart. You can imagine an invisible balloons underneath your arms, so they just are held out slightly. and breathe. You can also imagine that you're holding a balloon between your knees, and also that you're just sitting back slightly as though you were sitting on a high stool. So if you can use these things, these imaginary things, that can in a way help you to maintain the pose for longer, more comfortably, potentially. So I was just looking up in my book, The Way of Energy, this whole sequence this morning just reminded me of the sequence. The Way of Energy is a very good book to explore Qigong by Master Lan in more depth if you're interested in following up. Sorry? Yeah.
I think it's imprint, isn't it? I think it's on Amazon.
Is it? Yeah. I mean, I spoke to a friend of mine. I recommended it to Dan. He did have a bit of difficulty getting it. There's also, I think one of his more recent ones is he's done a Qigong workbook for anxiety, which is another one. Although anxiety is the focus, it's pretty comprehensive in terms of, going into, all the different poses and, in a way, the attitude of Qigong that you're trying to connect with, cultivate. Remember, you can always ease off by just coming up off the high stool and coming back to your hands on the belly. If you can stay with it, that's great. These poses are really sort of designed to allow qi energy to flow through your body. Okay, and then we're just going to allow the arms to slowly come up so that they're in front of your chest, directly in front of your chest. There's a hand width between your hands. And it's as though you're clasping a big imaginary, invisible ball towards your chest. Yeah? But just gently holding it to you, not bringing your shoulders up in order to do that. Just gently bringing it towards you, holding it in place. I'll just show you from the side. And sometimes you might get little energy releases. When you're in a particular pose, there's nothing to worry about. It's probably a good thing, energy moving. You might just notice sensations in your body as well, but yeah, just sort of have a gentle awareness of what's happening. Thoughts come and go, breathing's coming and going. So I can feel a bit more heat now as I stay with the pose. The guys are smiling, so I think they can feel it too. So just see how you go, see if you can stay with it. But if it's too much, come up and out. It's very, very counterintuitive, Qigong. I'm much more used to, well, when I was a younger man, it was sort of cycling and football and running. And yeah, it's very, very counterintuitive, Qigong. Master Lam has this video series is called Stand Still, Keep Fit. And that doesn't make sense to me. But as I've done Qigong, I can sort of see what's in it to some extent.
Could you give a bit of sort of background about like Qigong, where it came from, and what it's about?
I think it's come from China, I think, and Master Lam certainly in a long lineage of teachers, and it's become more popularized over here. I think if you go to parks in an early morning in China, you see lots of people out doing Qigong in the mornings. I think also sometimes in companies as well, they have like routines of starting with Qigong. So it's a much more established part of their culture. And yeah, it's had, there's been sort of science done to look into the health benefits, and it's proved, it's shown that it can have good health benefits. Okay, one more minute in this one, if you can stay with it. Richard, I think you've just started doing Qigong from doing these sessions with Yana Daya, is that right, Richard?
Yes, I've been doing it about 6 months.
6 months, okay, yeah.
I think I remember you were talking about you can listen to notes and things
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good thing to do. So if you're in your own home, when I do it in the mornings, I was, yesterday morning, I was listening to Erik Satie, which is this beautiful, slow-moving piano music. But you can experiment with different types of music and see what it's like to do it listening to different types of music. Certainly when we go to Master Lam, there's usually music playing there for his sessions.
I was trying to do one position per movement of a Mozart concerto.
Oh, yeah.
So that means doing this for about 15 minutes.
That's a long time.
And then doing 5 for 15 minutes.
Right.
Never again. It was too much. You can sort of ride out the pain. It feels like, oh, I've got to stop. This is too much. And you just stay with it. Often that sort of stress disappears.
Okay. Yeah. Sometimes it's just about sort of, relaxing more into the pose and let the invisible cushions do the work, isn't it? If you can use your imagination, it can be very helpful.
You could do the auto choice of concept.
Okay, so we're going to come down into the next pose now. So now, instead of clasping a ball towards our chest, we're going to hold it in front of our bellies. Or another metaphor is you can imagine that you've got a really big belly and you've got your hands underneath it, and you're just having a good feel of that belly, just really holding the weight of it. Yeah. And sometimes, like a good metaphor is to imagine that you've got a strap going all the way around your arms and around the front as well, so that you don't put any strain in your shoulders. So the weight of the body should be sinking through the heels and the soles of the feet. Weight should be going through in a fairly balanced way. If you notice that you're leaning one way more than the other, just see if you can adjust so that the weight's going through equally, not too far forward nor too far back, so nicely central. Allowing the breath to come and go.
I'm dripping.
Oh, little energy release there. Richard's dripping with sweat. How are you doing, Kieran? He's okay. Good. Okay, shoulders a little bit tense. So see if you can just allow those to soften a little bit. And you're sort of bringing your arms. That's a bit better. Okay, so we're going to move into water now. So just having the hands pointing outwards in front of you. Once again, checking the feet are hip width apart. And the metaphor for this one, it's as though you're like standing in a stream. And there's invisible balls underneath your hands, which you're just resting your hands upon gently and just holding them in place. Your feet are hip width apart, knees gently unlocked. Perhaps having a sense that there's a balloon between your knees, which you're just ever so gently keeping in place. Sorry?
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling all right, actually, yeah. Oh, a little bit of energy going there. Sometimes I do get quite a lot of energy release in these.
In what way? What sort of things do you experience?
I get these little like shocks of energy going through my body, and sometimes my vocal box is involved with that, so I make a like short, sharp sound as well. And sometimes it can be a bit more vigorous release than that as well. But usually, more recently, it's been that kind of quieter release, sudden jolt or something. I kind of think it's maybe energy which has been blocked, which has been released somehow. Yeah. Sometimes afterwards, I feel as though energy has moved, during the practice,
Paul says, is that Richard from over the road behind the camera? Yes.
It is indeed. It is indeed, yeah. Richard's been very generously helping us in all sorts of ways over the lockdown period. Tech on Qigong and the flowers and stuff. Lots of people have been pitching in. We're actually now running more activities at the LBC, both in person and online, than we were doing prior to lockdown. We've got so much online stuff going on. So it takes quite a bit of organising, believe you me. Okay, just one more minute if you can manage, and then we'll go back into that resting pose before we move into the next one. So right hand above the belly, coming off the high stool. Just have a little breather here. How long are you over for, Kieran? Yeah.
Just a week, I think.
Just a week. You're involved with the Dublin Centre?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm taking a year out at the moment.
Okay.
I just finished secondary school, so I sent a message I wanted to go traveling.
Okay.
I sent a message to Subhadramani and Matrabandhu.
Ah, okay.
And they invited me to stay there.
Okay. Great. I think I may have forwarded your message on to Subhadramati way back when.
Oh, it was you?
Yeah, I think so.
The unsung hero. The reception.
Yeah. So how old are you?
I'm 18.
18.
I'm a definite Buddhist.
Okay, great. Okay, so now we're going to go into a posture known as fire. So we're just going to bring our hands up. So in front of our face. Once again, just a hand's width between the hands. So so you should be like your eyes just like looking through the hands. And then once again, sitting back on that high stool and breathing. So this is known as fire, and it's thought of as I think it's the most challenging pose actually. So we're going to just hold this one for a little bit less time. But if it gets too much, you can come down earlier. So I tend to like to do this sequence in a slightly different order. I like to finish with water myself, but I'm teaching it how it is in the book for you guys. So water to me feels such a sort of poised position of mind, body. Oh, there's some heavy breathing going on in the room, heavier breathing.
I quite like this one.
Do you? Okay, and then we're going to bring our hands down now. So just resting the hands on the belly. Then we're going to turn to the right and raise the arms up, allowing them to meet at the top, and then bringing their energy down through the central channel of the body. And down, and turning to the left, doing the same thing. And staying face on. Okay, and then coming off the spot, taking the palms, the backs of your hands, and just rubbing into that kidney area, and just like kicking off your legs a little bit, just walking.
Quiet today, it's good. It means doing the practice.
Okay, and then, as you know, rubbing the hands to finish, like really strong, vigorously rubbing the hands, generating a bit of heat in the hands, and just placing that on your face, back of your neck. Just give our bodies a gentle rub down. Okay, so that's the end of the session. Hope you've got a bit of energy moving from doing that. And so Yonadaya is going to be away all this week. He'll be back next week. So I think it's Jayaka who's going to be doing the next Qigong session here on Thursday at 12 o'clock.